What's good, Basketball Nation? Can you believe the intensity of these playoff matchups we've been witnessing? The drama, the buzzer beaters, the defensive stands. This is exactly why we love this game. I've been living on coffee and adrenaline, watching these series unfold. Before we jump into today's explosive report, I want to thank each of you for making this channel your go-to source for NBA insider information. Drop a like on this video if you're as hyped as I am about playoff basketball, and let's dive into what could be a franchise-altering move for three NBA teams. The Golden State Warriors appear to be on the verge of ending the Jonathan Kuminga experiment, with sources revealing that a three-team blockbuster trade is gaining serious traction behind closed doors. Despite the Warriors grinding out a crucial 95-85 Game 1 victory against the Houston Rockets, the absence of Kuminga from the rotation speaks volumes about his standing within the organization. The talented forward's continued benching during crucial playoff moments has reportedly created irreparable tension between the player and coaching staff, pushing both parties toward an inevitable separation this summer. Bleacher Report's Andy Bailey has outlined a fascinating three-team trade proposal that would send Kuminga to the Washington Wizards while bringing several win-now pieces to Golden State. In this proposed deal, the Warriors would receive sharpshooter Corey Kispert, veteran center Jonas Valanciunas, and a top-5 protected 2031 first-round pick from Washington. The Sacramento Kings would enter as the third team, acquiring Marcus Smart, Buddy Hield, Saddiq Bey, Trace Jackson-Davis, and a top 20 protected 2030 first-round pick from Washington via Golden State. Meanwhile, the Wizards would land Kuminga in a sign-and-trade along with explosive guard Malik Monk. For Golden State, this move represents a strategic pivot toward maximizing the remaining championship window with Stephen Curry. Jonas Valanciunas would immediately address one of the Warriors' most glaring weaknesses, rebounding. The Lithuanian big man brings a career average of 9.7 rebounds per game, including 2.7 on the offensive glass. Beyond just board work, Bailey notes that Valanciunas could be a heat-check scorer against reserves, think 2019-20 Montrezl Harrell, but with post-ups and dives to the basket, and has long been an underrated passer, averaging 3.2 assists per 75 possessions over the last 4 seasons. His presence would give the Warriors a reliable interior scoring option and physicality they've lacked since the departure of key veterans. Corey Kispert represents another intriguing piece for the Warriors' future plans. As Bailey points out, the 25-year-old wing is 6 years younger than Hield, has decent size, 6'7", for a floor spacer, has averaged 2.8 threes per 75 possessions for his career, while shooting 38.2% from deep. With Klay Thompson's future in Golden State uncertain and his production declining, Kispert could be developed into a similar mold, a high-volume three-point shooter with enough size to hold his own defensively. The protected first-round pick adds future flexibility for a front office that has always valued draft capital, either for selecting young talent or as ammunition for additional trades. From the Wizards' perspective, acquiring Kuminga represents a calculated gamble on untapped potential. The 22-year-old forward has shown tantalizing flashes of star-level talent when given consistent minutes, combining explosive athleticism with improved shooting and playmaking skills. As Bailey argues, Kuminga is the biggest individual prize in this deal, and at 22 years old, he's likely to be younger than some of the players taken in this summer's draft. Washington's rebuilding timeline aligns perfectly with Kuminga's development curve, offering him the runway and patience that has been lacking in Golden State's win-now environment. Pairing him with Malik Monk would give the Wizards 2 dynamic athletes with scoring punch and upside. The deterioration of Kuminga's relationship with the Warriors organization has accelerated in recent weeks. ESPN's NBA insider Shams Charania reported that Kuminga's camp is exhausted by the perceived disrespect following his latest benchings. "They need him in this series because you think about the athletes that Houston has," Charania explained on NBA Today. "This is why they drafted Jonathan Kuminga. This is why they put so much trust in him. But back-to-back games in this play-in tournament, Steve Kerr essentially tells Jonathan Kuminga, 'You are not in our rotation.' This pattern has created what multiple sources describe as an untenable situation for both player and team. Tim Kawakami of the San Francisco Standard has gone even further, suggesting that a divorce between Kuminga and the Warriors is virtually inevitable this summer. The likely situation is Jonathan Kuminga's not going to be on the Warriors next season, Kawakami stated on 95.7, the game's Willard and Dibbs show. Things can change, but all things being equal, it was probably going to be a tricky situation for him to come back to the Warriors anyway. The restricted free agency status gives Golden State significant leverage in any potential move, making a sign and trade the most likely resolution that satisfies all parties involved. For Sacramento, this deal offers an opportunity to reshape their rotation with veteran leadership and shooting. Marcus Smart brings championship experience and defensive intensity. Buddy Hield returns to familiar territory with his shooting prowess, while Saddiq Bey and Trace Jackson-Davis add depth and versatility to a Kings team looking to break through in the competitive Western Conference. The protected first-round pick provides additional long-term value, making this an appealing package for Sacramento to consider as they look to build around De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. I've got to say, covering the NBA for years, you develop a sense for when certain player-team relationships have run their course. The Kuminga situation in Golden State has all the hallmarks of a partnership that's reached its breaking point. Sometimes a change of scenery is exactly what a young player needs to fulfill their potential. Just look at how Brandon Ingram flourished after leaving the Lakers, or how Tyrese Halliburton has exploded since joining Indiana. Could Kuminga experience a similar renaissance in Washington? Would the Warriors be making a mistake by moving on from such a talented young player? What do you think about this potential three-team blockbuster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm especially curious if you believe Kuminga could develop into an all-star with a team fully committed to his development.